All right, viewers, welcome to the Bronco Country Roundup. I'm Evan Sanford, joined by Chase Glorfield and Chris Van Sickle. No Carter Davis today, which actually that brings me to our first point. You might have noticed we've kind of changed up our filming schedule a little bit. We're doing this just to accommodate all four of our busy lives. It's a little bit hard just trying to schedule. Like I live on the West Coast and like just everyone's kind of scattered around. So we're just trying to accommodate everyone. But here's the good news. You guys get more content because on days when one of us cannot make it, we're still going to give the other person their platform. Like last week, we had Carter's version. Pardon me, frog in my throat. But this week, Carter is going to get his platform once more. So we're going to get our Taylor Swift back. The jokes will be flowing, and Carter's rants will be just sublime. I had to come up with a good adjective.
Sublime, huh? That's good.
All right. Well, that leads us to one of many topics today. We've got a hard-hitting bit of journalism that our own Chase Glorfield has been working on. This question has vexed Bronco Nation for the better part of how long has Danielson been with the Broncos? 8 or 9 years now. We have all been wanting to know, what gum does that man chew? He is getting an iron jaw on those sidelines. So our own Chase Glorfield found out. And so, Chase, take it away. What did you learn?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've confirmed that Danielson chews Eclipse, the blue one, of course. It's a winter fresh is the flavor. And I've also confirmed he gets them in the 60 count like cup things. And I don't know how many he goes through in a game, but I'm going to put one in my mouth right now and chew it. Hopefully you guys don't have that like phobia of mouth sounds. I'm going to see how long
I probably do.
Yeah. Fear of mastication. Oh, boy.
There we go. I'll report as we go. Minty fresh. I like it. My breath smells great already.
Well, there we go. We have our first real true bit of hard-hitting journalism from the Bronco Country Roundup. And actually, we had a photo from our source, our man inside, who gave us said information. Do we have that? Is that available to us?
Nope, that's under lock and key. That's
darn it.
That's considered evidence someday.
Evidence. Yeah, we'll keep that one to ourselves, but it is confirmed.
I really had Danielson pegged as like a Hubba Bubba guy, and so I'm pretty disappointed.
See him blowing bubbles on the sideline there.
What gum did Pete Carroll chew all those years? Forget what that was. Anyways, moving on. Recruiting news. There really isn't any news this week with recruiting other than there is a flurry of offers. We like this being primarily like focused on or Bronco Country being a recruiting website primarily. We keep an eye on that, keep tabs on it. And so we always like to keep you, our viewers, updated when there is news. And so you've probably seen online just all the different offers, but who knows? Like those kids are going through their recruitment process. And when we know more, we will inform you. So no news is good news, I guess. Or bad news, maybe. Who knows?
I can confirm, and I just remembered this. A junior college defensive lineman, AJ Prim, was on campus for a visit this past weekend and posted on X or Twitter, what do you want to call it, that he had a great time on his visit. So that would be a big get. I think I've said it before. We're losing a lot of experience on the defensive line going into next season. So somebody that can play immediately would be huge. So keep a lookout for AJ Prim.
Oh, and oh, go ahead, Chase.
Sorry. Those Friday night games are really hard to get recruits to because they have high school games and everything like that. But I expect a huge flurry of visitors this upcoming week with Nevada. It's because it is a Saturday game. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, and it's homecoming. So there's going to be the parade, all that good stuff. I know a few people one of my old college roommate, Sean, is flying in all the way from New Jersey with his wife. So enjoy the game, Sean. Have fun. Yeah. Hopefully it's an absolute stomping.
It'll be fun. Blackout. Everyone wear black.
Yep, in more ways than one. Blackout. Okay. Anyways, there's a famous Dr. Trump tweet, and it became a meme. It's like, remember friends, blackout or something. Yeah. Anyways, the students made sure that
I
happened.
bet they did.
All right. So real quick, I love that you pointed out that we're making more JUCO offers because again, that's something. If you've been following the Bronco Country Roundup for a long time, that's something that we have talked about. There's an opportunity for Boise State to go get those JUCO guys with like the transfer portal and the way recruiting has changed. But also a little nugget from the San Diego State game, which I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself because we have a few more things to cover before we get to that glorious game. Is that if you've been following us for a while, then you got to see someone that we were really high on in the offseason, and that's Dalen Matoyer. He was a JUCO transfer. He started on the line. I noticed that they didn't really, at least I maybe I missed it, but they didn't really profile him on TV. I don't know, guys. Did I miss any of that? He
I
didn't
didn't
really
see
get
anything, no.
Yeah. Was he at right guard or is
Right
that where I
tackle.
saw right?
Right
Oh, so
tackle.
he's where Hall Schmidt should be.
Paul Schmidt was out.
He was out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I missed it. You see, the game started while I was still finishing up work, so I missed the first like chunk of the first quarter driving home. So I must have missed some of that.
Well, that's how you know he did okay, is because you didn't notice Hall Schmidt wasn't there. So
Exactly. Had a great game, and so yeah, just a little fun throwback to the early days of the Bronco Country Roundup.
yeah, and I
But
actually had some interactions with his dad on Twitter. Seems like
oh,
a
you
really
did?
nice guy. Yeah. We talked a little or commented back and forth a little bit. Seems like a really nice guy. He's excited for his son's future. Did mention that there's a possibility they're trying to redshirt him to
Ooh,
preserve
that would make sense.
eligibility. So will that happen or not? I don't know. He used one of his games. We'll see if he uses a couple more. So
Well, that would make sense. We've got depth on the O line, but it's really being tested with some of the injuries and the attrition there.
it is. Yeah. We're just so you know, Kyle Cox did technically start at right tackle. But Dylan Matoyer, sorry if I butchered that, did see a lot of time and played very well from my eyes.
Yeah. No. So that I saw that and I made a mental note of like, there he is. We profiled him. We got to talk about him.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on. After the game, you and your son did something very, very fun and that we wanted to share with you, our viewers. So, Chris, go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, so in this world of NIL and all that fun stuff, you get players getting certain sponsors, and Melt's Grilled Cheese Sandwich Shop. They sponsor Cage Casey, that guy right there on your far right, chowing down on some kind of grilled cheese sandwich that has like 3 different kinds of meat on it.
Looks delicious.
It smelled so good. So yes, we went there, saw them. I was really excited. They seemed excited. My son was not excited. I promise they weren't torturing him. They were very nice. I suppose they're all very large humans, so maybe he was a little intimidated. But you try to make memories, and sometimes it doesn't work out. So there's my son.
You'll always remember that, though.
That's true. That's my son Grayson, who you've seen on here a couple times. Scared to death of the Boise State offense linemen. They were super nice. Great guys. I was able to secure some signed.
Oh, that's dope.
Couple of Cage Caseys, and we haven't discussed it, guys, but just to give you all a little inside information, we may have to use some of these as giveaway items.
Ooh.
I'm more than happy to share if we can get some more views and subscribers. So,
excellent.
Look out for that. But it was a lot of fun. Melt's Grilled Cheese. I don't know the actual name of the shop, but very good food. Go check it out. Cage Casey would appreciate it. So
yeah, it's in
my weekend.
The warehouse downtown where the downtown Edwards used to be. or the movie
So,
theater,
not
right?
the downtown Edwards. It's the Edwards on Overland.
Oh, it's off of. Oh, okay. So it's
51.
not in the warehouse.
No, not in the warehouse. Sorry, that was
Got it.
my miscommunication.
Whoops. Well, it is somewhere in the Treasure Valley. You will have to find it.
I went to their old location first. That was really fun. Then I had to find where they are now. So
Well, thank goodness we live in the era of Google Maps.
yes.
All right, moving on. Unless I'm getting too far ahead of myself, I believe it's time for our game balls.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So I'm going to go around the horn. Chase, then Chris, then myself. Offense. Who gets your game ball, Chase?
What I like about going first is I probably still who you guys pick. So
Probably. That's why
I got 3 names in my head just to be ready.
Very good. I got to give my offensive game ball to Maddox Madsen. For so long, for this season, the game plan has been load the box, stop Ashton Genty, and whatever happens, happens, right? But now Maddox Madsen was at 307 yards. He carved them apart. There were receivers running wide open downfield. He was on fire, made some plays with his legs, was really accurate. Probably his best game as a Bronco. He keeps getting better, guys. He keeps getting better.
Yeah.
UNLV, he did great. This week, he did great. When his numbers called and it's his time to shine, he has stepped up the last 2 weeks. And Friday night was a lot of fun to watch him cook. So, Maddox Madsen.
Seems like as the weather gets colder, Maddox gets hotter. He really is improving, and I love seeing that.
Yeah.
Chris, was Maddox going to be your game ball?
No, he wasn't actually. I was gonna go. I thought he was for sure gonna go with the guy. I'm going with Latrell Caples.
Oh, that's who I was going to go with.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Actually, no, I had Maddox, and then I had /Caples just in case.
Well, there you go.
There we go.
What you get for going third? Now, 3 touchdown passes from the before mentioned Maddox Madsen. You just love to see it. He's coming back from injuries. Hasn't looked completely healthy all season. I got some great clips, great shots of him. This one I was a little behind on the camera, so I apologize, but you'll get to see it. He played really well. They were clearly stacking the box, and they were going to let Maddox Madsen and company pick him apart, and they did. So, I loved the game plan, lots of play action, and he found Caples again and again. So here's the first touchdown. I kind of went in backwards order there, but it was a lot of fun to watch him play. He's been here for a while, and he's highly touted as one of the leaders of the team, not just a great player. So love to see Latrell Caples getting healthy and playing to the best of his ability.
Yeah, love it. And San Diego State's game plan was to just stop Ashton Genty and make Maddox Madsen beat them. And it worked. Worked very well because he obliged them. So I guess my game ball, I'll just take the low-hanging fruit, Ashton Genty, because even when they stopped him, he's still I pulled up the stats actually real quick, so I don't butcher this. 31 carries, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns, a long of 35 yards, which was a glorious run, and an average of 4.8. That dude crushed it, because even when they stop him, it's still like Marshawn Lynch back there, where he's just racking up body blows, and then the fourth quarter, they're just sucking gas. They
don't want to tackle him anymore. They're done tackling him. We don't want any more of that.
Yep.
Yeah, no more. White flag. And so Ashton Genty, and let's see. Actually, he had some receiving yards. How many receiving yards was that?
Oh, that's a good question.
He had 2 catches for 31 yards. The long is 16. That was awesome to see him getting involved. That he tried to leapfrog a guy, and that didn't quite work out as well this time, but still pretty awesome.
I don't know if I've ever heard a stadium go, ooh, so as quick as when he did not finish that leap. And I think we all held our breath as he got up, but he seemed to be just fine.
Yeah, I'm glad they get a extra day off from a Friday game going to a Saturday game. Hopefully that day makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
Just for the wear and tear on this team. But before we move on to the defensive game balls, I think you got a really stellar video of the Prince Strawn touchdown catch. You want to just throw that up there because that was awesome.
Yeah, it was a great view, and
Ooh, yeah,
he's so smooth. His route running,
that route was sick. Yeah.
It was unbelievable. I watched it unfold, and I'm like, oh, he's gonna be wide open, and sure enough, so he's unbelievable. He seems to only be getting better as well, Prince Strawn. So,
really nice to see him kind of come alive these past couple weeks. That's been fun, and hopefully we see more of him moving forward and just get these wide receivers going. Like that is, well, here I'll gush about this team here in a little bit. Defensive game ball though, Chase, who you got?
The last couple of weeks I've praised Devon Banks for his play in the secondary, and for good reason. But Amarion McCoy has stepped up big time as well. He's got to be it wasn't just the pick six. I mean, that was huge, getting a turnover. But between him and Devon Banks and Tubner in the secondary, that defense is coming around and starting to really figure things out. And McCoy he's done really well and kind of took things into his own hands on Friday. And really that really just sparked things, that pick six. And the defense really played well. And a big reason is number 7 back there.
Yeah, I was a little late getting that clip started, so I did at least get the celebration. But it was like right after the kickoff. I was like, I'll miss this one play, and then boom, he takes it all the way back, and that's all right.
Well, Chris, who's your game? Which, by the way, like Amarion McCoy is one of the names that I wrote down. I figured he would get taken, but that's fine. That's fine.
Well, we'll see if I take your next one. And it might sound like deja vu from last week, but Jaden Virgin frickin' Morgan.
So good.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, this he's going to sneak into the first team All Mountain West Conference talk here. And because he really didn't start the season out really all that hot. I think he played some pretty good run defense, but wasn't getting the sacks. And just another sack and a half game, that's all. He's got more sacks than Ahmad Hassanin. He's just developing into the outstanding player that I thought he was going to be. So Jaden Virgin Morgan, keep it up. I mean, we might have to start worrying about him getting an NIL offer somewhere else.
But now it's maybe a bit of a buzzword, but a term that I've heard is like a high motor player. Like no quit in him, does not give up, goes to like the second, third move, whatever, just to get past that offensive lineman and really finish his plays. And he's starting to see kind of the fruits of his labor now with the sack total kind of stacking up. He has been really fun to watch the last few weeks. And he's only a redshirt sophomore. Is that correct?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's from San Diego too, so maybe he had a little extra motivation. I don't know.
Oh, there we go. Like still some more like physical development that can be had, still some more just like skills development that can be had. Like this sky's the limit for this kid.
When he played last season and he was actually, because of injury, having to play a little out of position. He played some linebacker even. So I think season, him being able to just focus on and just work on his pass rush technique, we're really seeing the fruits of that work he's putting in.
And you guys took the 2 guys I wrote down, but I have a third. I do think Alexander Tubner deserves the game ball. He is like the leader of the defense, played an awesome game. And I think he lead the team in tackles again?
Well, I don't know about that. He had that interception. That was fun. Yes, he did lead the team in tackles.
Yeah, six total tackles, 4 solo tackles. Like he played a great game and just like it is really fun. I mean, for all the kind of heat he gets, it is just that much more fun to see him thrive. So he gets my game ball. And
playing a lot smarter the last couple of weeks too. Playing a lot smarter.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, the defense really hurts when he gets ejected. You notice when he's not on the field. So I think he realizes, or maybe the coaches are really getting in his ear, like, hey, maybe you don't get ejected.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried just like not, you know?
I think they probably had that discussion with him. Yeah.
Well,
How's that gum? We still got flavor over there? I need an update.
It still tastes great. We're 18
right.
minutes in, and it tastes great. So
Your Eclipse update.
yeah.
Real hard-hitting journalism here.
I'm working for a sponsor here, dude.
Come on, Eclipse. Come on.
Yeah, see? Product placement, baby.
Oh my goodness. Well, this game ball you can't take away from me because I didn't tell you I was going to give a special teams game ball to Marco Notriani for that trick play. Yes,
I loved it.
Leads me into I think it was a few podcasts ago where we talked about the lack of trick plays that Boise State has at least tried to implement, execute, whatever the word. And they tried two, I believe, just this past game. They're the special teams one, and then one on offense that didn't quite. Yeah, the flea flicker didn't quite go, but that was fun to see some gadgets in there. And then Marco getting 8 yards on that carry.
Well, yeah. And the context of it too. We're up by 32 in the third quarter, and they fake a punt. I'm all about that. I'm all about that.
And so that all that being said, that gets me thinking. And I'm gonna go on my own little soapbox here because Carter's not here, so somebody needs to. And I want to talk about Spencer Danielson developing as a head coach and how well he has stepped into that role, better than some others did not that long ago. But he is showing
the specter of Indianapolis still hangs over the blue.
He is showing a killer instinct that we haven't seen since, in my opinion, honestly, Coach Pete. Going for it on fourth down, fake punts while up 32. You know, some people might say that's kind of bush league. I say that's sending a message.
No, stop me.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't like it, stop it.
Get it on film for Nevada and everyone else to try and prepare for and think about, and maybe they have another counter off that, or maybe just waste their practice time. I don't know. It's good to get that kind of thing on film as well.
Yeah, but I just love watching him develop as this, and I think a big part of that is he's talked a lot about having mentors in place, Coach Pete being one of them, and I think that he's leaning on them, and I just am really excited. I'll just say it. I loved Andy Avalos. Andy Avalos, I have no doubt, is a great guy. He did not develop as a head coach all that well, in my opinion. I don't think that's all that controversial to say, but I see something completely different in Spencer Danielson, and it's really exciting. So there's my little soapbox there.
I, too, was like thrilled when we hired Andy Avalos. But he had this team at 5, almost the exact same team at 5-4 last year.
Yeah. And I still love Andy Avalos. Still a great player. Boise State, great. I'm not trying to talk trash about him at all. I think maybe he was put in a position too early in his career. But Danielson has just stepped in and really took hold of that position, and I love seeing it.
Right people, right place, and Spencer Danielson is exactly in the right place.
Yep.
But I will. That's not a soapbox. That is just the correct opinion.
Yep.
All right. Which actually, before we get to really breaking down or getting a little bit more further into the San Diego State game, just a heads up, viewers. There's something I did actually get a little bit ahead of myself, and I forgot to mention that the CFP rankings are coming out on Tuesday. Nothing else of importance is happening on Tuesday. All you need to know.
I was ready for that one.
All you need to know.
Red Ranger Cub.
The CFP comes out on Tuesday, and you should pay attention to nothing else.
Well, you might have something there. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like actually though. Don't expect us to be 12th. This is a committee of humans, and I think I've made my feelings on how just having a committee decide things is just great. You know what? If you want to understand my feelings, just look up Mike Leach. He had a nice interview about his thoughts on like why a committee is just so great. Like go look up that clip, and that is like that's how I feel about it.
Go
But
look up all Mike Leach clips. Actually, they're all amazing.
Quote machine, baby. Quote
You
machine.
will go down that rabbit hole. That'll take a whole work day away from you right there.
And it will put a smile on your face.
Oh, it will too.
But anyways, we won't be ranked 12th. I will. Well, I'm not going to do something as crazy as that one Florida State fan said he would do if like they lost to Boston College. I ain't doing that.
I will hold you to that too.
I will chew some Eclipse gum and then chug some cold water if we're ranked 12th.
That hurts my teeth.
Yeah, no, it's awful.
I fully expect between 15 and 20. It's not as high. People need to just forget about the AP poll. Hopefully, you've already forgotten about the coaches poll because that's really trash. Yeah. But just start the season ranking wise right now. Just forget about the AP.
Yeah, I think the AP being at 12 does help us avoid being in that 21 through 25 range. So I'm kind of thinking 17 through 19. It will be the only. Well, actually, no. Maybe they'll have Army ranked at 25. I can see them doing that, but like we could. It's either going to be just Boise State being like the only group of 5, or us there, and then Army's maybe 24, 25.
Yeah,
because logic and reasons.
Right. No. So yeah, our message to Bronco Nation: keep your expectations low, and just be excited that we are where we're at. We're going to be the highest ranked group of 5. I don't think there's anything about that. So
ultimately, that's all that matters. And I know there's like discussion about like, hey, like if we keep winning out and the Big 12 kind of cannibalizes itself, like we could get. They're not going to give us that bye week. It's a committee of people. They will not give us that bye week. Just if we make the playoff, we're going to be the 12 seed and we're going away.
If we get that bye week, what will you do?
I will chew spearmint gum and chug a glass of water.
All right. Getting wild around here, aren't we?
Yeah, no, I honestly that's all I had ready. So we could come up with something. But
I don't think that bye week is as far off as you do. I don't think it's likely, but I do think there is some crazy stuff's going to have to happen. But I do believe there's a glimmer of hope for that bye week.
There's a few scenarios where it happens, but some stuff's going to have to happen for sure.
Yeah,
bye week, not bye. BYU is going to have to crap the bed a little bit.
More like BY poo. All right, moving on. We've had enough of this. San Diego State, that was my kind of game. I loved every minute of that. Chase, if you want, just gush about that game for a little bit. What did you love? Was there any was there any, I don't want to say bad, but like any like not so great moments that you'd like to see cleaned up?
I'm still not sure what the plan is on some of those kicks, especially on kickoffs. I'm still not sure what's happening. I mean, I'm kind of nitpicking here, but I wouldn't say that was great. Like some of the short ones, I'm like, what are we doing? I guess I don't see what the plan is. I'm not privy to coaches' meetings or anything, but I don't know what's happening with that. Defense is forcing turnovers. I just really enjoyed what I saw. Good old-fashioned Bronco beatdown. We haven't seen something like that in a while. Like that game never felt it never felt insecure. Like it never felt like we were in danger. Right off the bat, it was go time. Now I love seeing that mojo is back.
Yeah,
you know?
The swagger.
Yep.
Honestly, like the special teams, like the kickoff. That's the one thing that I wrote where I was just like, why?
Scratching my head. Like
it seems because it's a different, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a completely different kicker than the one who kicks it into the end zone. It's number 30, not 39. Reeser, not.
Yeah, they have Terrence. Is his name Terrence Shive? And
he's the one that boots it clear out of the end zone and does a great job.
Yeah,
and then they bring on a squib kick. I don't know.
Yeah,
kind of like we talked about before, get it on film so they have to practice it. I don't know. But
maybe they felt confident. They felt confident enough in the defense that they wanted the return team to, like, I don't know, get some live reps or something. I don't know. That feels kind of like reckless to do in like a live game, but I don't know.
No, I do. I think that's a good call. Actually, I think that is probably maybe what they're trying to do is get some game film with. Maybe there's a different player on kickoff coverage, and they need to get him a live rep. That very well could be it as well. Yeah, maybe it is a little risky. They get paid to make those decisions, not us. We just get sitting.
Yeah, I just don't like that. And you saw it with a couple of the punts the last couple of weeks too. Is the lower, harder kicks. It allows the return people to get a running start to catch the ball, and they're going full speed before the coverage team can even get down there, and they're getting 20, 25, 30 yards a pop on the return because you, instead of bouncing it or giving it air time, you're just there's no hang time. You can right to them, and they're running full speed, and it's harder to catch. I don't know. It just blows my mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you guys entirely. That's the biggest head scratcher. That's what I guess I think that I can speak for all of us where like that's the one. It's like maybe that's not the bad or the ugly. That's just the maybe don't do that next time.
Yeah, that's the head scratcher.
If they're kicking off, it probably means they just scored. So it's
true. Plenty of that on Friday.
But Chase, anything that you want to just absolutely gush about?
I love Ashton Jeanty. I know we've said it a lot, but I'm telling you, I know the numbers aren't the ridiculous 6-touchdown Georgia Southern game like he had, or he's not breaking off 70-yard runs like he did early in the season. That's because teams are keying on him. To me, these games where he grinds it out and he gets 31 carries, even though he's not feeling perfect, it's not just his arm. I think there's maybe I don't know. He's just a little worn down from the season. But these are the games to me that should seal any kind of Heisman. Not that he'll win it, but an invite to New York. That he is grinding these games out. He's working hard. He is still getting 130, 140 yards on the ground when he's facing 8, 9-man boxes every play. Like, that is impressive.
And I do think it says a lot. I kind of went away from the game. I don't really look at the stats a lot when I'm standing on the sideline. And I kind of walked away going, it probably wasn't Jeanty's best game, but he did all right. And you go look, and he's got 149 yards and 2 touchdowns for rushing. Like, guys all over the country would kill for that. And that's a quote-unquote off day for Ashton Jeanty. Like,
that just shows you where the ridiculous standards are for like that. And honestly, he set for himself because of how good he is that, 149 feels like an off day. But, man, it's incredible.
Yeah. Like you said, like there are a lot of running backs out there who would kill for that to be an off day for them.
Yeah.
So, well,
did you see he broke 18 tackles, the most in a game in the FBS this season? I think is what Jay Tuss put out.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That needs to be circulated.
Yeah.
Because I did not see that. That 18 tackles, is that what you said?
Let me look it up here just to make sure, but Jay tweeted something about that.
That is disgustingly good.
It was PFF College, so the Pro Football Focus. Week 10 leader in missed tackles, Ashton Jeanty with 18 broken tackles.
That's crazy.
Like, and again, loaded boxes. Like, and Dirk Cutter did a really good job explaining like why everything looks like every run looks like it's going between the tackles because they're funneling him in there, and he's still breaking tackles. He's still getting yards. He's still putting those body blows on the defense, and then the passing game is just carving them up now. Like that is
defense have to reassess that game plan. I think going forward.
Yeah, I mean, if we can throw the ball and run the ball, like we're looking at finally having like a complete offense. Are we officially like 2/3 the way through the season? Is that where we're at?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And this offense is still getting better. Oh, someone got a text.
That's me. Sorry.
But this offense is firing on all cylinders at the latter part of the season, and that is scary that we're still getting better.
Yep.
scary for other teams. Like it's utter joy for me. That is the perfect kind of Bronco game. Bronco beatdown where I don't have to like go through like a roller coaster of emotions throughout the entire like 3 or 4 hours of it. I just get to relax on my couch and just chill and enjoy a good old fashioned what kicking. Like sign me up.
Yep.
I love
Yep.
it.
Now before we move on, boys, is there anything else that you guys want to discuss from the San Diego State game?
No, I'm getting a little worried about our offensive line depth. I loved what we saw from Matoyer and Kyle Cox played well, but it's those holes aren't quite as gaping as they were at the beginning of the season. So I hope those guys get healthy. Hope Paul Schmidt, Jason Steele was also out. Hope he gets healthy. But otherwise, that was a great game. A ton of fun to be at too. Great atmosphere.
Now, actually, I do have a question for you guys. Here I'll get to that. Chase, did you have any final thoughts from the San Diego State game?
Nope, I loved it. Go Broncos.
So my question is, when are the rosters going to be expanding? Because that was announced in the offseason that rosters will go from how many players is that right now? Is it 88 or 90?
85 is the limit, I think, right now, isn't it?
Oh, really?
And it's going to 105.
Oh, yeah. The other
85 is the scholarship limit. You can have as many walk-ons as you want, but I think it is that number's going. What did you say, 105, Evan?
Yeah, I have that in my head, and I can't remember if that's the right number.
Right? Yeah.
What?
If schools can afford it, and I'm not sure when that goes into effect.
Okay. I'd be curious to see if that does go into effect like this offseason. We'll have to verify on that. Like
into effect the 2025-2026 academic year, whatever the heck that means.
Yes. Okay.
So
I believe that's next
I know
year.
what
Next
that means.
fall. Yeah.
I'm glad you do because I don't.
Okay, so I'd be curious to see when that expands, how do we use that? Because like right now, it's like, yeah, we could use some line depth. Those big maulers up front, get a few more like JUCO guys in there.
Mhm.
I think that'd be great. And like defensive line, but then I mean, like there are points in the year where I would have said like, ooh, maybe we could use another wide receiver or two. So I think that'll be interesting, something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Definitely running back is with the injuries there is looking a little thin.
Breezy Dubar was suited up. He did not play at all, but he was suited up. So
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us very close to the end of today's episode. The last little thing that we'll discuss is Nevada. It is homecoming. It appears to be the blackout game in more ways than one. And so Chase with the epic eye roll.
That's awesome.
Oh boy, what was I gonna say? I had a whole like wind up for that, but anyways, what do you want to see? What do you want to see out of Boise State against Nevada, Chase?
Looking at some numbers here, Nevada doesn't score a ton. They run the ball pretty well. Their quarterback, that Brendan Lewis, he does a good job getting yards. Kind of like a Haj Malik Williams guy from UNLV. But I don't think Nevada has the receivers down the field to make that passing game as big of a threat as UNLV was.
Mhm.
I want to see the Broncos really just shore things up, especially with that running quarterback on defense. And then an offense can continue going there. Defensively, they give up 135 rushing yards a game, which is 53rd in the nation. So they're not awful, not great, maybe somewhere in the upper middle pack. But I want to see some big holes open up. I want to see Genty go for 200 plus and get some other guys some playing time in the second half. That's what I'm looking for.
I'd actually be curious. I don't know if you have it pulled up in front of you. Like, what running backs have they had to play? Have they played San Diego State yet? Because I'll give credit. Like, their running back, he is talented. He's not as good as Genty, but he is talented.
Savion Red, the Texas transfer, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Well, while Chase is doing that, Chris, what do you want to see out of Boise State against Nevada?
Maybe a little humble pie for Jeff Choate. He seems to be thumbing his nose at Boise State for not hiring him as their head coach, and I mean, I think it's pretty silly to even imagine that we hired the wrong guy. And I know there's a lot of Boise State former players that were huge and trying to push Jeff Choate to get the job, and that's great. I respect that. But he didn't get the job, and he immediately became pretty bitter about it, it seems. So move on with your life, Jeff. Try to turn Nevada around. Don't worry about Boise State so much. Let's beat the crap out of them. How about that?
I'd love that, and then you can go home and just I don't know, play some slots or something.
Yeah,
play some cards. You live in Reno. Go to a casino.
Yeah. A little humble pie served up. So.
Yeah, I 100% with you. Chase, what'd you find?
Let's see. So, common opponent, they've played Hawaii and gave up 242 rushing yards to Hawaii.
Oh boy,
which is crazy. They only gave up 42 rushing yards to Georgia Southern, which is a bit surprising. But they've given up well over 100 to just about every opponent except for that Georgia Southern game. Last few weeks, 170 to Colorado State, 242 to Hawaii, 126 to Fresno, and 214 to Oregon State. So,
can you say hi?
Hi.
Well, he says hi, and it's actually pretty much time for us to say bye, because that brings us to the end of another Bronco Country Roundup. Thank you so much for watching, and please have a lovely weekend. Go Broncos.
Go Broncos.
We'll leave you off with some sights and sounds from this past week's game.